listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.
I'm Hattie Quinn, and I'm here at the Mountain Lion Studio. And who is with me today?
My name is Joe Enriquez.
And I'm Rick Wiedemann.
Excellent. And Rick came to talk to us today about Energy Day 2026, which will be happening at Southeast New Mexico College on April 23rd. And we'll get into all the details as we talk. But let's start, Rick, with what do you want us to know about Energy Day?
This is going to be the first time we've had it. It's a new event. It'll be held in conjunction with our STEAM event that we have every year. This is being sponsored actually by the Department of Energy and Lawrence Livermore National Lab. It'll be feature energy companies coming to our campus. They can be recruiting, sharing information, but also some researchers on seismic events and such that we've been having in the area. So if you're interested in the earthquakes we're having, like last Monday, please come to this.
Yeah, I think that is a timely event, which is kind of amazing considering you started this scheduling process a while ago, as you mentioned earlier. Let's talk about your keynote speaker,
Okay.
Dr. Kayla Kroll.
Correct. Dr. Kayla Kroll with Lawrence Livermore National Lab out in California will be speaking from 6 to whenever she finishes, but probably 6 to 7 p.m., depending on questions, on speaking on subsurface operations, energy production, and earthquakes, and the relationship between those things and what can be done to mitigate them.
I think we can all appreciate that. So, and you said this grew kind of out of the Reconnect?
Correct. A project out at Livermore, they are working on forecasting forecasting seismic events. And they came up with Reconnect, which is an acronym that somewhat works with real-time monitoring for induced seismic forecasting across energy industries.
That doesn't work as an acronym very well at all, but it's okay. I like the idea of the connection that's implied, right? Because it's across energy industries. It's really important. We're all affected by seismic activity, so it's really great. And you were telling me earlier the difference between predicting and forecasting.
Correct. What they are doing at Livermore is working on forecasting, as in the pressures building up in this particular area, the likelihood of a larger seismic event is increasing or decreasing or whatever the case, as opposed to prediction would be there's going to be an earthquake Friday at 2 o'clock, and there's not. I just use that as an example.
Right.
But they're not doing prediction, they're doing forecasting.
And then you'll have other people from around the industries?
Yes. The day's going to start off at noon to 1 at the college. We'll have a Munch Learn. The Munch is we'll have sandwiches that are provided by our HSI office at the college. And we'll have different people from the energy sector, from research, so forth. And it's geared towards students, but anybody from the public is invited. A chance to have lunch, sit down with people, talk about what's going on in the energy sector and with seismic research.
And then, and it says that's a panel discussion that will be occurring. And then from 1 to 3, you have...
The plan is, depending on how many people are available to speak, I'm still lining up speakers, but to have 30-minute sessions from 1 to 3 o'clock, like 20 minutes for a speaker, talking about energy, talking about seismic events, things like that, and then like 10 minutes for questions afterwards or switching from one speaker to another. So looking at probably 4 sessions between 1 and 3 o'clock. And then a nice break. Then at 4 to 6 will be the STEAM Expo, which will include Energy Day activities. So representatives from oil and gas, the researchers from Livermore, DOE will have representatives there, from Los Alamos National Lab here in Carlsbad, from Los Alamos Technical Associates, National Cave and Karst, Bureau of Land Management, along with other local groups like Inspired by Science, groups that always come out for our STEAM events.
Excellent. Yeah, I love the Inspired by Science people. They do good work here, for sure. And then I noticed that you have STEAM Expo 4 to 6 because, of course, from 6 to 7, you have the guest speaker.
Right.
Which is really important. And that's also our open house period, but people should try to do the open house touring part before the 6 o'clock speaker.
That is the hope. If you're interested in like why we're having earthquakes and why your house may have shaken on Monday a week ago, then that would be the event to go to. But again, we have the open house, so the whole campus will be open, various departments represented. I'm chair of the Science and Engineering Department. We'll have the Biology Lab, Anatomy and Physiology Lab, Engineering Lab open, and then also we'll have Chemistry and Physics represented down with the main STEAM Day activities.
I hear the workforce drone soccer team will be there for a demo as well.
Yes, and apparently in the near future, I'm being recruited to be a drone soccer referee.
Oh, I love that.
I want
Thank
the
you.
black and white shirt and the white hat and the yellow flag.
Absolutely. We'll get you all the accoutrement. I love that. I have the honor to play with that league as well. And the simulator labs will be open where they do, what kind of simulation do we do there, Joe?
There's all kinds of sim labs and simulators in there. Like I'm going to be running the 18-wheeler. So across long haul, I'm going to teach them how to use the 18-wheeler, and I get to have a little bit of fun and put rain and snow and put all kinds of conditions, see how they do. I think there is a forklift simulation. If I'm not mistaken, there's also an underground mining simulation, like not a drone, but the cart or whatever that they drive underground. I think there's like 3 or 4 different kind of simulations that there, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
People are going to enjoy it.
Workforce safety training team will be over with Joe doing those things, so that'll be super fun. Everybody should definitely stop in and see what's going on in the simulator lab. It's like video games on steroids.
If they can drive an 18-wheeler in snow.
I know a few people who could probably do that.
I don't think they could here in this part of the country.
I could not drive an 18-wheeler, period. I was a firefighter for 13 years. I could drive a fire truck, but I had lights and sirens to get people out of my way.
Right.
If I drove a semi, there'd be dead people all over the place.
It's really, really interesting. They taught me how to drive it, and you feel the motion. You don't realize how slow they really are until they pick up speed, and then you don't realize how fast they are until you have the speed and try to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
But the seat actually moves, and it's really, really interesting. Like if you hit a bump or if you're trying to slow down, your seat will actually move. It has air brakes on it. You can actually flip it. I'm not going to say how you know you can flip it, but you can flip it.
That's super fun. Yeah, so there's a lot of momentum behind those big trucks when they.
You don't realize it,
going.
and then you get to feel it. So I mean, it's firsthand. It's really it changes your thought about it.
Yeah, so everybody definitely needs to stop by and check that out. So, what kind of activities do we tell them about?
I'm not sure if welding is going to use their simulator again like they did. That was fun. I got to use it a year ago or whenever it was, and did a pretty good job. Could I do that with a real welder without burning my fingers off? Probably not.
I like the use of simulators in the beginning instruction. Like how I think there's 3 weeks on the simulators in the CDL program before you ever actually get near a real truck. Probably a good idea.
The surgical tech had a great simulator that I used. I'm not sure whether they still have that same one, but I helped do a C-section and deliver a baby on the simulator.
Whoa.
Nobody died on the simulators.
Excellent.
Well, that's good. So it was a healthy little baby. Was it a boy or a girl?
I don't remember.
Yes.
You just know that it was a baby.
That's all they really are. At the beginning.
Pretty much at that age, they're just a baby.
Jerry Bryan from the oil and gas faculty here will be one of the speakers.
Hoping so. I got an email from him today saying he will be there, but not a specific commitment, but hopefully talking about the produced water program that he is setting up at the college and other energy-related things at the college.
That would be great. The work that they're doing now, what is that place called? Sunvapor? The desalinization plant. The work they're doing with produced water there is pretty exciting. There was an update in the SENMC news about it, and it's just really exciting because if you think about the growing water shortage and all this produced water sitting in little ponds in the desert, can we clean it and make it useful again, right? I love that idea so much, and a big part of it is the salts, so that's a great first step is the desalinization process. I believe that he actually said when we were at the high school for a science expo that they had, I don't remember its title, but I believe he said that when the water is done, it is actually cleaner than our tap water salt-wise. Which is pretty amazing that they're already achieving that kind of things. There's, I assume, other proprietary chemicals that have to be treated with. I think they're looking at secondary uses for this stuff, not our consumption, but more how can we use it out in the fields in other ways, in science, in agriculture, and not directly into the home. But I think it's very important. Also, I noticed we talked about they're running the produced water through town now out to a place in Happy Valley. They're laying the pipeline right now for that, which is pretty interesting. They had a slight disagreement in the city council, but it won out. And I drive past it all the time. Where they're running the pipeline. Is that also the one
that's on Boyd over by the cemetery that
Yes.
they're working on?
Yes.
Oh, okay, and Radio Boulevard.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was. I didn't know exactly.
Yeah. Based on my assessment from reading of the minutes and where it says it's going, yes.
Oh, okay.
That is that. I see a lot of construction going on through there when driving in, and a lot of sand blowing in the wind when the storms kick up. So that'll be really great to have Jerry there as one of the speakers or part of the panel. That'll be awesome. What else do we need to know about?
I can speak as far as the open house and the STEAM event. Science department, Dr. Bobby Wong will be doing his traditional ice cream made with liquid nitrogen.
Classic.
So it freezes instantly. In the biology lab, amongst other things. My gopher snake will be there. I will be running around with the Energy Day stuff all day. So I have some students and possibly one former student that'll come in and run the biology lab. The anatomy lab will be run by students, and then engineering. We've got a wonderful engineering lab, and that will be set up with different displays and activities going on.
Oh, excellent. Does the engineering lab or the fabrication lab have 3D printers?
Engineering does not. I can't speak for the others.
I'll have to check. I have this idea about the drone soccer league, and I think that we need to have like a cool state-of-the-art trophy. And so
Interesting.
I think it needs to be 3D printed. But I'm just
Now, have you ever
things.
had frozen ice cream, like flash frozen ice cream?
Oh yeah, I've done the liquid nitrogen experiment with it. It's fabulous.
I know one time whenever I went down to Houston, I went to NASA, and they had the frozen ice cream or whatever it was for the astronauts, and I think they had French fries and things. It's definitely an interesting taste.
It's a lot of fun for the younger crowd or ice cream aficionados, though, to be able to flash make ice cream. Like it takes 45 minutes in my kitchen.
As far as the energy event, this is our first one, and with the funding from Department of Energy and Lawrence Livermore National Lab Foundation. Hopefully in the fall, we'll have the second one, and hopefully this will become an annual event, just like STEAM Day, and continue on. But again, the DOE grant is what got us started on this, and Livermore, they passed through them to us. And so looking forward to it. Even though my background is biology, we all need energy and we all need clean water.
Absolutely.
So the two things going together.
Yeah, they can't say we really have any more important issues right now than energy, clean water, clean air. Okay, and so the open house will have people demoing stuff all over the place. I believe that as part of the STEAM Expo, there's like this game map where you get some sort of marking on your map for visiting all the different places, and then you're entered into a contest for a prize, which could be really amazing, like a tablet, or I saw AirPod Max headset, which I really want one, but I obviously am probably not eligible as an employee, but that's okay, I'll save up. And then, yeah, there's the Lunch and Learn from 12 to 1, then the speakers from 1 to 3, then you have a little time to wander the campus, and then the STEAM Expo kicks off. I'm sure there'll be people setting up all over the place. And then we have Dr. Kayla Kroll from Lawrence Livermore speaking on subsurface operations, energy production, and earthquakes. And that'll be in our auditorium room, which is 153 in the instructional center. And it's really very exciting. I think that, any of our listeners know that I report on earthquakes semi-frequently now. And that's not something that anybody told me about when I was moving here.
It's been dormant for a really, really long time. If you ever get a chance to go to the caverns, they had talked about a lot of is it stalactite or stalagmite, the one that's up on top?
The stalactites from above, the stalagmites from below.
Okay, there's one portion that there was a huge stalactite that they had shown, and you can walk around it, and they said that it had fallen whenever one of the major earthquakes hit. So millions of years ago, I guess this was an active fault line.
Okay. All right, so that's probably why the industrial activities
It's reactivating it or messing with it or something.
encouraging
Encouraging it to wake up.
the activity. Yeah. So there's been a couple of the 4.3 last week on Monday. And there was a 5-pointer in late 2025 in White City. And then there's a bunch of small ones all the time that we don't feel. You said 2-pointer? Like around.
We have those frequently.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
of course.
Yes, we have small ones frequently, but like last week was, 4.3, I believe.
Yep.
And last year we had a 5 and a 5.2 that I am aware of. I don't know all of them. I don't monitor the earthquake site. Actually, though, as part of the funding from Department of Energy through Livermore, we are getting a seismometer for the college.
Oh, that'll be great.
And it will be on display, or at least a monitor showing. So when there's anything in the area, we have to make sure where we put it so it doesn't just pick the custodian's cart going up and down the hall, or things up on the roof. But yeah, we will have that through this funding. The best thing about all of this, besides the information, so coming to learn about earthquakes and the energy resources we have in the area, and most people familiar with that part, it's all free. And while we have events from from noon until 7 p.m., they're broken up, so you don't have to be there for 7 hours or 8 hours.
Right. Come and go.
There's multiple events going on. You can come to all of them. You can come to any of them. And there'll be food at the noontime event, and then during the STEAM Expo, there'll be pizza. So it'll be sandwiches at lunch, pizza at the STEAM Expo.
Classic. I love it. And our student worker, Endymion, will be on site interviewing anybody who wants to talk about the experience of the day, what they thought of the talks during the early session, the hopes of playing drone soccer, any of the things that they want to talk about from the day. He'll be out and about with microphone in hand to just check in with the people and capture a little of the event. It will not be aired live, but it'll be near live, as he will record it and give it to me, and I will upload it. So that'll be really fun. I'm excited about that. We haven't covered a lot of the events, but we covered the Taste of Culture last year, which was a lot of fun. We did that as podcasting students, and we went to the groundbreaking on T Squared, which is the Trades and Technology building that's being built in front of SENMC up on the hill behind the Home Depot. No, Lowe's. Sorry, we don't have Home Depot. It's just going to be a great time. I think everybody should come out. I think it's really important to learn about the things going on in the energy fields. I always try to provide a small micro news item related to the industries during Midweek Matters because it's important. A lot of our listeners are in the industry or their family is, and it's really important that we understand, especially that we understand the lengths that people go to keep things safe and to figure out how to use these resources in an environmentally friendly way. And I think that is something, I've lived in Texas before I came here, so I've been around the oil and gas industry for a while now. And when you live outside that area, you don't realize how much work is put in to try to make it more environmentally friendly, safer for the employees, safer for the residents. And so I think it'd be good to come out and hear what people are doing and the kinds of moves they're making. And it is just on the tails of Earth Day.
Could you please tell the listening audience where this is going to be located, the address and
Southeast New Mexico College, 1500 University Drive, here in Carlsbad, and come and see the campus.
Yeah, so it'll be happening kind of all over the campus, but the Lunch and Learn will be in 102, which is at the community education end of the building, and then it'll move to the instructional center for the speakers. And then
Correct.
It'll be kind of all over for the open house from 4 to 7. Though, of course, we want to go see our speaker in 153 from 6 to 7. So do your wandering before that. And, I think it's going to be a great time. And we'll have our partners out there. And I hope to see everybody there.
yeah, we'll see how they can drive a semi. They need to come and check out the Sim Lab.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you coming in to talk about the upcoming event.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Joe.
My pleasure.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.